This morning, Kofo.
Good morning, everyone. Ekaro, Lagos. Otutuoma, Lagos. You know now the usual way I greet you. Call Inakwana. Good morning to you all. Welcome to Lagos this morning once again. I trust you have a lovely weekend. How was your weekend, Ibuka?
Stressful. You left me on Saturday. Nice one. You're paying me back.
You didn't have to actually say that.
Yeah, it's 1-1 now.
Oh,
yeah,
no
we are counting scores.
all right, our dear esteemed viewers. It's still Lagos this morning on your screen, and then today, as usual, we'll be bringing you all politics, what's happening in the political world, foreign and sports this morning.
Yeah, basically all our news will be centered around election. But the elections that happened on Saturday, we've been getting pictures, images, and hearing the stories coming out from these three states, talking about Kogi, Imo, and also Bayelsa State. We'll be looking at all the shenanigans that went down in the elections before, during, and after the elections. So these are things that we're making the talking points on the show this morning. And like she mentioned, we're having news going on in the foreign scene and in sports. We'll be looking at what is going on there in the world of sports this morning. So my name is Ebuka Ezubika.
And you know my name? Kufura Ladretumuke.
What you thought the Shakara this morning? Okay, so let us start quickly with the news making the rounds, basically the headlines as it is this morning. If you check through the papers, you will see many of those stories are already lined up on the newspaper papers this morning, but we'll just select a couple of them as it is. The first one, Serap. Once again, you know, every Monday in your order, Serap will be there. Serap to INEC arrests electoral offenders in Bayelsa, Kogi, and Imo.
And on the Imo election, LP government candidates, LP governor candidates rejects results, accuses security of bias.
Then in Bayelsa polls, INEC adjourns collation to today.
APC's Ododo defeats Ajaka Melaye to win Kogi governor election.
And still in Kogi State, SDP calls for cancellation of governorship elections in Kogi Central.
And on Kogi polls, Dino calls for cancellation of the Kogi polls.
Everybody's calling to cancel. INEC now have fixed November 18th for fresh elections in 59 Kogi polling units.
Okay, and that is that on politics. And on foreign, Russia probes train derailment.
And on sports, Tanzania hold Falconets in World Cup qualifiers. So these are the headlines we'll be looking at, and we're going for a short break right about now. When we're back from the break, all the flesh in these stories will begin to give out, all of them one by each. We're coming back, don't go anywhere.
100 Nereko, Estambaseko.
You're welcome back. This is still Flip TV, and it's Lagos this morning as it is. Yes, you've seen the headlines that we have dished out to you already, and before we go into basically all those the fleshy part of the story, let's just go into traffic updates. What traffic is looking like this morning, especially to our viewers that are in Lagos. I came in this morning and I was telling my friend here in the studio that today has been declared, federal government has declared today as traffic day, because there is basically traffic everywhere. Look, I don't know how the road was when you come in, if you saw a bit of traffic on the road.
I came here by flight, please.
She came by flight. Nice. Nice. And please, which airport did you land?
That's none of your business.
Okay, so let's just have a bit of traffic update as it is. Now, a broken HCB is currently occupying a lane on the road at Mile 12 inward the journey to Kosoko, causing backlog of traffic to Irawo. However, officers of the Lagos State Traffic Management Agency (LASMA) are already on ground. Yeah, concerning that particular one. Then the Lagos Ibadan Expressway, recovery and evacuation of the vehicles involved in an accident by Capital Oil inward beggar outward of Lagos is now complete, and the road is now open to traffic. So those that are applying that particular route, feel free to go through that area this morning. Then for those coming from Abulegba inwards Agege, a bit of traffic before you get to Abulegba under bridge, but it's moving gradually, and many of the police force and traffic management authorities are already there just to make sure that there is a good flow of traffic as it is. Men on ground managing the result traffic of backward and outside express, a bit of traffic too in that particular. So those are kind of the latest traffic updates so far as you have them this morning. So make sure that you follow all guidelines, obey traffic management authorities as it is. Yes. News just coming in: 2 dead after last month officer changed driver to hit 2 normal officials. This is along Bagada axis today as it is. A LASMA officer chasing a driver, and the driver, according to the report, hit 2 Loma officials. You know, the Loma officials that do sweep the road and make sure that our roads are clean. This is happening in Bagada axis, Lagos State. This is just happening. So once we get more reports concerning that particular area, we'll let you know. But currently, the road is currently busy as activities are going on. People are not happy, and a bit of a mad protest is going on concerning what just happened there. Once more reports come in, we'll let you know as it is. Okay, so let's move quickly to the news making the rounds that we've given you concerning what is trending right here in the country concerning the elections. Sarah is talking.
Yeah, Sarah to INEC. Arrest electoral offenders in Bayelsa, Kogi, Imo. Civil society organization, the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, (SERAP), has urged the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to promptly establish a joint, credible, transparent, effective, and broad-based investigation into allegations of electoral bribery and violence in the off-cycle governorship elections in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa states. In a statement on Sunday, the SERAP Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, urged INEC Chairman Mahood Yakubu to immediately identify, arrest, name, and shame suspected perpetrators and their sponsors of these grave human rights crimes and ensure their effective prosecution regardless of their political statuses or affiliations. Sarah also urged him to disclose his pending details on the governorship election in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa states, including the specific amount spent to conduct voter and civic education and activities carried out in these states. Furthermore, Sarah also said the recurring cases of electoral bribery and violence make a mockery of Nigerians' electoral process and participatory democracy. Electoral integrity is critical to a legitimate democracy. When the integrity of that process is compromised, the legitimacy of our government and the public confidence in our public institution is seriously undermined.
No, it's very funny. This not funny in that sense. Funny in the sense that we just have only 3 states that did the off-season elections, as it is called. We have Kogi, we have Imo, and also we have Bayelsa states. Now, it's very funny in the case of the videos you saw on live TV. Now, these things that happened during the election, or before the election, during the election, and even after the election, is a big slap on the integrity of INEC as it is. On Saturday, I was here, we were reporting what was going on live in Kogi State, what was happening in Imo State. In Kogi State, for instance, before accreditation started, the result sheets filled with numbers was already displayed in different polling units. How come did this happen? How? Because to the best of our knowledge and what we all know that is in the public space is that election materials are sensitive materials that are kept in the custody of the Central Bank of Nigeria, which nobody except the INEC officers have access to. And this, when I'm talking about officers, not just any of the officers, the senior officers like the president or the chairman of INEC. Now, how these sensitive materials came out, got to the hands of these people that manipulated numbers. The numbers are out there. It's a big slap. And what Serap is saying is just the basic fact. We cannot be coming out of an election that happened during February and March. That I said it the other day, that so many of these cases have been in court. Court just decided that of the presidency recently. And we just have only 3 states conducting an election, and still issues concerning electoral violence, manipulation of results, voters' apathy, gunshots, death, ballot box snatching, all these things are still happening in just 3 states. The promises from the security people that, yeah, we have enough security on ground. Promises from INEC that everything is on ground, everything is going to go smoothly. But this is the case. So with the full budget and the total amount of money budgeted for these elections, I believe by now, the chairman of INEC has questions to answer. If they could arrest the governor of Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele, there is nothing stopping them from even calling, at least inviting Mahmoud Yakub, come and explain these things to us, because it's really not clear. Because the image of Nigeria out there is not looking good, election-wise.
Right.
You know what we're saying? It's not just nice as it is. Now, since speaking about the elections, let's move over right now to Imo State. The governor of Imo State right now is saying something, and is basically happy concerning the results being mentioned in Imo State as it is. I don't know if we have the video when he was being called up talking about the INEC chairman or the collating officer bringing up that particular issue. But right now, after the results, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in the just concluded Imo State governorship election, Athan Achonu, has accused security operatives of colluding with the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) to manipulate the results in the state. Achonu placed third with 64,081 votes, as compared to Samuel Anyanwu of the People's Democratic Party with 71,503 votes. And the eventual winner, the incumbent governor of the state, Hope Uzodinma, who won by a large vote tally of 540,308. Addressing newsmen in his country home in Ehime, Mbano, local government area of Imo State, the 64-year-old alleged his party supporters and voters were intimidated and harassed during the election, as the outcome of the election doesn't reflect what truly transpired at the polling units. It is a very sad day for democracy, a very sad day for good governance, for freedom of choice and equal opportunity. According to him, yesterday, security agencies of this country raped our democracy. It was a big shock. I am just recovering from it this morning. The DSS, police, and the military raped our democracy. It was like a coup by the security agencies. It wasn't INEC. INEC was scared. They brought people from different states of the country. And when they came, they were willing to work. But when you see the security agents that are supposed to protect you, we are the one behead people like chickens and doing the bidding for the government, what do? He continued by arguing that the returning officer should have stopped collation following the petition by his party agents, that the results of the polling units uploaded to the IREF didn't correspond with the collation officers presented at the collation center. He promises to challenge the outcome of the election in court. Many of us saw the video of what happened in the collation center. I believe we'll be showing that video in a while of what happened in that particular place. Talking about the collation center there in Imo State. While the collation officer was trying to, do his duty, the Labour Party agent came outside to complain that some of the results these people are calling are not the same results. In fact, at a particular point, some other agent from other parties had to also intervene in the matter. For a particular local government or so local government, according to other party agents, they said there was no election in that local government. But according to the APC party agents, they brought out numbers and they called out numbers, and the coalition officer continued by yes, saying that okay, he's going to take that number. But the other party agents were not having it, and it's turned into something else. And on live television, thugs came into the place. They started beating people on TV, dragged them out like wheelbarrows on national TV. A big embarrassment, a very very big embarrassment, if you ask me, to our democracy. Basically, these kind of things shouldn't be happening in a time like this. I've said this before and I will say it again. Election should not be a do or die affair. It should not be a do or die affair. We have procedures, we have things, we have a code of conduct that we should follow. Things like this should not be happening. An election in a state, I'm even waiting for the state governor basically to say something about it. That thugs, that we came into a coalition center and we have security agents on the ground. We saw these things on TV and it is just really not palatable, to say the least, as it is. So I think we have one of those videos ready for you. So please, let's look at the videos and see what's transpired in Imo State.
Of APC, having certified the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected. Signed as the returning officer, Fashino Abayomi, Sunday, dated 12th day of November 2023. I so present. Thank you very much. God bless you.
So there you have it. So that is from the coalition officer there in Imo State, officially declaring Hope Uzodinma of the All Progressives Congress, having scored 540,308 votes as the governor of Imo State, and he has been hereby returned into office. Although we've already heard that the Labour Party have said they will meet in court.
All right, then we've heard from Ebuka on the Imo election. Now let's have it in Bayelsa poll. INEC adjourns collation till Monday noon. That's today, later today. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on Sunday night adjourned the collation of results in the November 11, 2023 Bayelsa State Governorship election till Monday noon. Results from 6 of the 8 local government areas in the states, namely Kolokuma, Okuma, Ogbea, Yenegua, Sagbama, Nebe, and Ekeremo have been collated. The remaining local government areas are Braz and Southern Ijo. Prof. Farouk Kuta, who is the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Mina, and the State Returning Officer for the election in Bayelsa, adjourned the exercise on Sunday night. 16 political parties sponsored candidates for the election in Bayelsa. Governor Duoye Diri of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), main opponent, is a former Minister of State for Petroleum Resources and an ex-governor of the state, Timipre Silva. Silva, the All Progressive Congress (APC) candidate in the poll, was first Bayelsa governor from May 2007 to April 2008, and later between May 2008 and January 2012. Like Bayelsa, the governorship polls were held in Imo and Kogi State, just like we've heard from Ebuka on the Imo election state on Saturday. Already, a winner has been declared by INEC in Imo, with Governor Hope Uzodinma of APC defeating Samuel Anyanwu of the PDP, Labour Party, LP, that's Labour Party, Neji Akono, and 15 other opponents. Uzodinma polled 540,308 votes to defeat his closest rivals, PDP's representative Anyawu, who scored 71,503 votes, and LP's Akono, who got 64,081 votes.
So that's from Bayelsa State, and we know the shenanigans going on in Bayelsa State overnight as it is unfolding in different states. The incumbent governor there, Doye Diri, is from the People's Democratic Party, PDP,
Yeah.
whereas the other contenders are also there. But frontline is Timipre Silva, who is a one-time governor of Bayelsa State and also the former minister for states for petroleum in the country under the past administration. Now he's trying to get into office as governor again, but then same shenanigans of electioneering politicking is still playing out in Bayelsa State. We've heard cases of, and the funny part about what's it called right now, Bayelsa State, in these three states, that's Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa. Bayelsa have the least number of local governments. Bayelsa have just eight local governments. And up until now, they have not been able to tally just 8 local governments. We're getting reports here and there, moving of one collation center to another collation center. I think finally now there is a particular local government that they've moved their own reports. I think they've taken it to Yenagoa, which is the state capital. But the APC said they don't want it that way. The governor of the state, Doyodiri, from the last figures, is leading in that particular one. So they moved it from yesterday. The election was done on Saturday. They could not finish just 8 local governments. 8 local governments. They moved from Saturday. From Saturday, the counting was not complete on Saturday. It was moved to Sunday, which was yesterday. Even in the collation center yesterday, it became a... In fact, should I moment say it's a Nollywood movie between party agents and what the figures that the officers were, the Rex guy, the resident electoral commissioners were reading out. It was just different playing out of stuff. The numbers they were bringing was not tallying with the numbers the agents have. So it's wasted a lot of time. At a point, even the collation officer too was angry on TV. He was even telling one of the party agents, "Don't let me lose it on you." He was telling the party agent, "Well, don't let me lose it on you." Yeah, so it's basically funny as it is.
Okay, quick one. Let me just read out the Bayelsa results so far. In Sangbama local government, APC has 6,608 votes, and for LP in the local government has 217 votes. PDP has 35,504. Yes, and in Kolokuma local government, APC has 5,349. LP has 22 votes, PDP 18,465. And in Ogbia local government, APC has 16,319 votes, LP has 57 votes, PDP 18,435. In Yenagoa local government, APC has 14,534, LP has 244, PDP has 37,777. And in Neighbor local government, APC has 22,248 votes, LP has 113 votes, PDP has 44,556. And lastly, in Ekeremo local government, APC has 8,445 votes, LP 50, PDP 23,172.
Okay, so we have touched on Imo State, we've touched on Bayelsa. So let's move right now to Kogi State as it is. Now in Kogi State, the keenly contested November 11, 2023 Kogi State governorship election has finally produced the winner, with the APC's candidate Usman Ododo clinching the much coveted seat. Now, the state returning officer, Professor Johnson Urama, who is the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, announced Ododo as the winner as at 10:23 p.m. That's late last night on Sunday. Ahmed Usman Ododo of the APC, according to him, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected. Orama declared in a room crowded with party agents and election observers. Ododo won with a total of 446,237 votes, defeating his closest rival, Muritala Ajaka of the Social Democratic Party SDP, who scored 259,052 votes, whereas Dino Melaye of the People's Democratic Party PDP polled 46,362 votes as it is. So now, but then Senator Dino Melaye has come outside now. In fact, he's out already complaining. And I also have my own personal complaints too to complain. Dino came out to, in fact, I'm not sure he even voted because he has been protesting up since Saturday. He came out today, video on Saturday, that there was something going on in the polling units whereby election results have already been filled even before accreditation started in many of the polling units. Now, he made that complaint. INEC, they came outside to tell us that, okay, an investigation will be going on concerning that particular situation. Now, INEC have moved, I think it's part of this, it's a part of the news we are going to give out this morning. INEC now have moved the elections on Saturday as November 18th in about 59 or thereabouts polling units in Kogi State. Now, they've moved those elections to that particular point, but they already announced a winner in a yet to be concluded election. So you then ask yourself, INEC knows these things. You know that some things are wrong. Why are we in a rush to announce the winner? Why not wait? Because there will be another election done. Well, probably, if you check, probably they've calculated the numbers. In fact, the numbers are even very close. 446,000 to 259,000. Yeah, probably 100,000 plus difference between the SDP and also the winners, that's the APC in the states there. But right now, Dino is complaining that the elections are, but I don't know, the video will be up shortly concerning Dino Melaye already complaining and that in portable stem, they don't rip me. Yeah, that they ripped him of his rights in his own state.
Okay, which brings us to the story that Dino Melaye calls for cancellation of governorship election.
And he is calling for an outright cancellation of the election.
The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the Kogi State governorship election, Senator Dino Melaye, has called for the cancellation of the election due to the irregularities that marred the election. Melaye, in a press conference on Sunday in Lokoja, the state capital, said that the irregularities that marred the Saturday election in all three senatorial districts were unprecedented in the history of the state and should not be allowed to stand. He described the exercise as shameful and unhealthy, regretting that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has not learnt any lesson to realize, ameliorate, and palliate the problem they created for the democratic process during the general election in the country, still repeating the same in the governorship election. Yesterday, in the 5 local governments of Central Senatorial District in Kogi State, there was no election. In the end, surprisingly, accreditation was done manually. The BVAS was not used.
The BVAS was not used.
Prepared sheets manifested even before accreditation, and evidence is all over the media. INEC, as a matter of urgency, must cancel the election. In many areas where I won, my agents were told there were no available result sheets to enter the results, and we have evidence to back up these claims. As I speak to you, it's shameful that this is what our democracy has descended to. INEC has manifested ever than before that they cannot be trusted. They are biased, they are compromised, and they cannot be neutral umpire. The two-term senator representing Kogi West said that INEC officials and Youth Corps members were caught yesterday with prepared result sheets even before the commencement of the processes. He added that a youth corps member was arrested with a prepared result and 1 million.
Cash.
They were deliberate suppression of my vote in Lokoja and Kogi local governments. This was deliberately done by Governor
Yaya Bello.
Yaya Bello, and APC to make sure that even the orchestrated arrangements didn't come second. Because they do believe that there will be a second ballot, and they believe if there is a second ballot, I have influence and tremendous support in the central, and I can make an inroad in the east. So they prepared any other person to become second. Senator Melaye said.
That's Dino Melaye complaining concerning what's transpired in his state on Saturday during the elections. And for those watching, you can also let us know, what do you think about INEC after these elections that we have? What do you think concerning INEC? Because, we asked the question on Saturday that do you still have that belief, or do you think it will be same old same? And many people will be of the opinion that it's same thing that is going to happen. So right now, seeing all these things, how would you rate INEC after the election in just 3 states? So that's basically our question for you today. Seeing all these things that have gone down, how would you score INEC? We're doing a review. We'll do that in the second part of the show. We're doing a review concerning that particular one, concerning INEC. How would you rate INEC? We're going back right now to Senator Dino Melaye. He's complaining he had to call a press conference for us to see and to hear what he's saying. Let us hear from Dino Melaye this morning.
Totality, the conduct of the elections yesterday, and outrightly call for the total cancellation of the election because that was not an election. It is shameful that the unhealthy INEC refused to realize, ameliorate, or palliate the problems they created in the last presidential and governorship elections. Yesterday, in 5 local governments of the Central Senatorial District in Kogi State, there was no election in any. Surprisingly, accreditation was done manually. The beavers was not used. Prepared result sheets manifested even before accreditation took place. The evidence is all over the media. So INEC, as a matter of urgency, must cancel the election. Many areas where I won, after counting, my agents were told that there are no available result sheets to enter the results. And we have evidence to start by condemning in its totality the conduct of the elections yesterday, and outrightly call for the total cancellation of the election because that was not an election. It is shameful that the unhealthy INEC refused to realize, ameliorate, or palliate the problems they created in the last presidential and governorship elections. Yesterday, in 5 local governments of the Central Senatorial District in Kogi State, there was no election in any. Surprisingly, accreditation was done manually. The beavers was not used. Prepared result sheets manifested even before accreditation took place. The evidence is all over the media. So INEC, as a matter of urgency, must cancel the election. Many areas where I won, after counting, my agents were told that there are no available result sheets to enter the results. And we have evidence to start by condemning in its totality the conduct of the elections yesterday, and outrightly call for the total cancellation of the election because that was not an election. It is shameful the unhealthy INEC refused to realize, ameliorate, or palliate the problems they created in the last presidential.
All right, there you have it. That is Senator Dino Melaye, the governorship candidate or aspirant of the People's Democratic Party in the Kogi elections, calling for an outright cancellation of the entire process in Kogi State. He said so many things there. He said the fact that accreditation was done manually in many of the places. Beavers was not used according to him, and is blaming INEC for all these gray areas in the election. So is basically calling for the outright cancellation of the entire process. That means the election is null and void according to Senator Dino Melaye. Now let's move on to his counterpart of the SDP, talking about Ajaka. Now Ajaka on his own is calling for cancellation of the elections in Kogi Central. Yes, the SDP, that's the Social Democratic Party governorship aspirant in the Kogi elections, has called on INEC to cancel the results from Kogi Central. Now, presenting the letter of petition of the SDP to the state returning officer, the agent of the party, David Edibo, said his party did not accept the outcome of the election in the five local government areas of the senatorial districts. Now, Governor Yaya Bello of the APC, Usman Adodo are from Kogi Central. So you understand where he's coming from. However, the APC agent Idris King objected once again to the petition by the SDP. Some of the top candidates of the November 11 elections include Muritola Ajaka of the SDP, Leke Abejide of the African Democratic Party ADC, Dino Melaye of the People's Democratic Party PDP, and Usman Ododo of the APC, who is an ex-auditor general of the local government in Kogi under Yaya Bello. So they are saying that the result from Kogi Central, like I said, is where Yaya Bello is from Kogi Central. Also, Usman Ododo is also from the same Kogi Central. So that is why Ajaka, who is the SDP governorship candidate, he's calling for the cancellation of the elections in Kogi Central. Whereas Dino Melaye is calling for the total cancellation of the entire elections, owing to the fact that there are so many irregularities that has marred the process of the elections that happened in the state.
Okay, then, and on foreign news this morning is Russian train derails. Russia has launched a formal investigation into the apparent derailment of a train by improvised bomb. Its investigative committee announced this on Saturday. The bomb was placed on the section of track in Russia's Ryazan region, according to a statement from the agency. The statement said that the incident caused 19 cars of the freight train to derail. According to a statement from the railway operator on Telegram, a train's operator's assistant received minor injuries in the incident. It is unclear who is responsible, but Russia has accused Ukraine of a series of cross-border strikes. Russian fighters allied with Ukraine have also staged sporadic raids inside southern Russia. Typically, Ukraine has not taken direct responsibility. Okay, so this is on Russia train derails. There was apparently a derailment of a train by improvised bomb. And then Russia thinks it is from Ukraine, although Ukraine has actually not taken any direct responsibility on that.
Let us see if they would, because as much as what is going on in Israel and Gaza is still happening, we are forgetting the little case of Russia and Ukraine. Their own battle is still going down on their ground. So this is another one coming up. Let's see if Russia, or rather Ukraine, would claim responsibility for this, or probably it's just a minor mishap from just the train itself. Leaving the foreign scene, let's go on to sports this morning. Quickly on the sporting scene in Nigeria and Tanzania, under 20 girls battled to a 1-1 draw in the first leg of their 2024 under 20 Women's World Cup African Qualifying Series second round fixture in Dar es Salaam yesterday, that Sunday. Now, in the first half, it was a cagey affair between the two sides, but in the second half, substitute Chioma Olise put Nigeria in front 3 minutes before the hour mark at the Azam Sports Complex in Tanzania. But then the Falconets, they were pegged back. The home girls responded 13 minutes later when Asnat Umamba fired home from a free kick, to which Nigerian goalkeeper Adreline Mbechi had no answer to. Both teams really fought hard to establish superiority at the tail end of the encounter on the artificial turf, but the scoreline remained the same. Now the second leg is going to happen here in Nigeria, and we hope that Christopher Danjuma's girls would emulate the Super Falcons performance in the 2024 Paris Olympic qualifiers after scaling through to the last round and the qualifying series. So it's 1-1 there in Ethiopia. Hopefully when they come back home, they'll do the needed as it regards qualifying for the World Cup. All right, we'll go for a short break right now. When we come back, we'll be looking into the review of the elections that happened in Kogi, Imo, and also in Bayelsa State. Let us know, how would you rate INEC so far in these elections? Look at what's happened February and March, bringing it now to what we have seen so far in these 3 states for the off-season elections. How would you rate INEC so far in the elections?
All right, just stay with us. We'll be right back.
100 Nereko. Estambaseko. Nereko, Estambaseko.
Please, you can't disturb this election.
Yeah, welcome back. This is still... Welcome back.
But the police.
Alright, so there you have it. You can see what transpired. That is the scenario in the collation center there in Imo State. As you see, party agents battling it out on the floor. You know, and looks like a bit of WWE there going down in the collation center. Now you can see this is on live TV. The full world looking at us in a glare of what's transpired. This is just in one case. We have other states that we had issues like this, but then it didn't result into fighting. But that's for Imo State. Had to grow and developed into what they call a kind of free-for-all. You could see party agents, security people, we are also there. The police was on ground basically in that video you just saw. The police were on ground, and from what we heard, those people that you saw there, some of them are party agents, others are hoodlums too, and that's how they found their way into the premises of the collation center. It still bewails our imagination as it is. So right now, the question for today is, seeing what has transpired in the elections for these 3 states, in Imo, in Kogi, and in Bayelsa states, how would you score INEC? How would you rate them? Yes, some of the governors, in fact, some of the governors have come out to hail INEC for a job well done. Governor Hope Uzodinma has hailed INEC for a job well done. Also, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Ganduje, have kudos INEC for a job well done. That's in fact that this is an improvement from what happened in the February-March elections, that you can't compare because the two are way miles apart in terms of organization, and they are really happy with how INEC have handled the elections. You that is watching now, you've seen the elections, you saw what transpired. Maybe you might be in the States or not in the States. In fact, one particular case that everybody is pointing out is the case of the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma. Uzodinma won 27 of the 27 local governments in Imo State. They have 27 local governments in Imo State. He cleared all of them. And people were like, wow, that is A1 parallel. And I'm not sure we've had anything like that in a long while in Nigeria. That a governor, all local governments, he won hands down. And it's still the same Imo State, we saw this fighting happen. The same Imo State, we've heard people saying that in that particular local government, or so local government to be precise, elections did not happen, but they were results. We saw the results. How come did these results come? Who voted when there was no election in the state? So the question is, looking at how INEC has performed so far in these 3 states, what would you say? Have they done well in your own remark, or they've not done well? Kofa, I know you were present during the February-March elections, during how the voting and everything went that period. We saw how chaotic it was in some parts of the country.
Yeah.
Then with these ones you're seeing right now, how would you rate, how would you feel, how would you score INEC basically, if they've done well or not?
I wouldn't say INEC has done well, because it's, when we are seeing white and then they are calling it black, and then they have things, they try to back it up. So I think INEC can actually do better in trying to make the election free and fair, because I don't get how election doesn't take place in a certain local government and then we have votes from them. Is it that we have ghost voters
ghost
now?
Voters, yeah.
Do we have ghost voters now? And how about the COP member that was actually arrested with 1 million with him? So it shows that some people were actually bribed. Some people were actually assigned to do some certain things to rig the election. So INEC really needs to actually do more in trying to make the election free and fair. Look at all the things that actually happened at the unit for election and everything. It's not a good image for Nigeria.
It's not even just about image. I was going through
actually
social media, and I could see youth now are saying that if this is how the election wants to be, anything concerning election, they will not be part of it anymore.
Funny to think how this youth can actually get clips from all this election and then turn it to memes, turn it to stickers, and then Nigeria is in the mud that way. I don't get it. Imagine fighting in that kind of situation, then it's being turned to stickers, being turned to a thing of joke.
Because it's basically right now, it's basically a joke the way it is. How would the young ones now that are coming up, because many youths came out for the elections this time around, unlike how we know the settings to be normally in Nigeria. We know it's an election period, you see boys hang around, play football,
do you know when you speak with a young person of like a youth from the age of maybe 24 to 30, when you speak to them about doing something in their country, maybe getting the land in their country, doing something in their country, they tend to be like, okay, no, I cannot do anything in Nigeria, I want to jackpot. So that's just it, like, because of the way the democracy is not the election is not free and fair, everything is not as transparent as it should be. So a lot of Nigerians, a lot of youths that we call the future leaders of tomorrow, they get discouraged and just want to leave the country, and then they go and put all their skills, their knowledge, what they know, put it in another man's country, neglecting our father's land. But can we actually even blame them for that?
Because you see the process as how it's going. This is 2023 for crying out loud. And we're still having cases.
2023 is just how many months left in 2023?
Before
we can start saying we're already moving to 2024.
And we're still hearing cases of ballot box snatchings. A man was shot dead. A man was shot dead on Saturday for snatching ballot box.
Imagine.
A policeman was caught snatching ballot box with uniform. You know, these
what
are
an insult to the police.
Yeah, the police have already brought out a statement that yes, that they will look into the matter and investigation is going on. I could recall during the presidential election, there was a case of somebody that they saw with a huge amount of cash. He was arrested. After that, we didn't hear anything anymore. Now we've seen cases of this one again.
Yeah.
1 million naira. This is just one. There's another one case of somebody 20 something million naira too that was arrested. And what are we going to hear about it? No, these are the processes that we should be looking at and ask ourselves, which way Nigeria?
Just like you said, election is not a do or die.
It's not do or die.
It's not a do or die affair that you have to, get yourself involved in different things. And then some people also lose their life to this election that is meant to be free and fair.
The funny thing that we compare ourselves to the third world or the countries that are advanced. If there's an election in Canada, in America, in so many of these countries, you will not even hear in fact, everybody goes about their basic work life, just a few changes that will just happen, just to vote and go back home. But in Nigeria, the reverse is the case.
My God.
Like, when are we going to leave this process? Now, is INEC really to whom blame? Because I was reading some things because people are saying I think it's high time we look for another body that will be organizing elections for us. Going from the time of Maurice Iwu to Atahiru Jega, now to Mahmoud Yacob, these are the past chairmen of INEC. We've been having issues upon issues before, during, and even after the election. So many promises will be made, but on election day, the reverse is the case. How are we going to believe that the next elections will bring forth something good? Like I said before, so many youths came out to this particular election, the presidency, the governorship, to participate in the process of electioneering in this particular time. But then with all these things, and the youth of these days, any small thing right now, we just flip our mind out of it. You are thinking of, yes, you are putting your whole heart into doing something, you get there and the reverse is the case. Next thing is, the next process, you're not interested because you believe that, well, she been at the same people that run things. You understand?
We know as they do one.
So now, looking at the elections that have happened so far, so good in these states, Imo State, Kogi State, and Bayelsa State. 2 winners have been announced. In Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, the incumbent governor, has been announced. In Kogi State, Usman Ododo has been announced as the winner. Although I still have an issue. I mentioned it before. INEC made it known that election will be happening on the 18th of November, that's this Saturday, in Kogi State, in those polling units where they have issues. And these issues are ranging from ballot box snatching, then also, what is it called right now? The issue of the results, the result sheets already being filled with numbers for one political party in the state. After investigation, INEC said, okay, we'll organize another election on Saturday. Why not wait? Now, you're still going to have another elections on Saturday in the same state you have already announced the winner yesterday. Does that mean that there will be another collation center to collate the results of the next? Some things you just wonder and you ask yourself that, why are these things happening? The Electoral Act that we have in the country, does it allow spaces for this kind of things to happen? I'll just mention that these are just basic irregularities. You have not completed something. Why go ahead to announce the election? Just like you having a building, you have not roofed the building yet. They're doing house party.
They already have their winner, I guess.
Yeah, so even if you like, okay, like they already know the winner.
No.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be because the process is not yet complete. Now, going out to Imo State, the same thing that happened in Rivers State, in Kogi State, happened there. Of that, some result sheets have come outside with winners already been displayed, and the virtual person actually won the election, clearing all 27 local government areas in the state, like Wawu. Yeah, I went on social media. People from Imo State, many of them are complaining that, come, not be say that governor really good like that too. Like, because you ask yourself, because for a governor to win 27 out of 27 local government areas, that means, man, he's really doing something tangible.
Yeah.
In the state that people really need to look out for, that wow, that this governor is doing something that we have not seen before. But then, question marks here and there. The Labour Party candidate is saying, we'll meet in court. We are going to court. He can't take it. The one also for the PDP is saying they are still going to court. Meaning the same cases of what transpired during February and March, that many of the cases dragged to court, are the same things we are seeing right now. That a governorship election happened in just 3 states. All of them too, they are going to court. What does that say about the integrity of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in the country? I think just like we have ICPC, because this is now my personal opinion, just like we have ICPC, which is an Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, they do the same work similar to the EFCC, that's the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. I think we should have another body that should be doing the same thing INEC is doing also. Yeah, I don't know how it would work, but then if the integrity of INEC has been coming into question years and years and years, and we have not been seeing basic improvements, then I think something should be done, Kofu.
I agree with you on that, actually.
Alright, so we'll go on a short break right now. When we come back, there's this saying of, as it pain them, it is sweet us. The governor of Imo State is already celebrating, and the government house in already there. When we come back, we'll save you that bit before we leave the studio this morning. This is Lagos This Morning. Stay tuned.
100 naira ko. That's ko.
Welcome back. It's still Lagos This Morning on your screen, and it's still your favorite host here on the program, Lagos This Morning, Kofo and Ebuka.
Yes.
All right. As we will be preparing to leave the studio for today,
Yeah, you saw the video of the governor.
Yes.
And the governor and his wife. They are doing their. This is not a marriage first dance. This is the victory first dance. Or second dance, because they would have danced in the first tenure. This is the second dance. And they're dancing alongside their friends, family, associates, Kobana chief priest. They are all of them basically celebrating with the governor after he was declared winner of the governorship elections there in the States. Probably after this program, myself and Kofi will do our own dance.
Victory dance, you get.
She can't even dance to save her life. Yes.
I'll see you after the program.
Alright, Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Senate President Akpabio, have all congratulated Governor Hope Uzodinma for a re-election. He has won the election there in the state. So let's see how the matter ends, where we know the matter is not going to end just as it is right now. We are still following the process. Not forgetting, by 12, the Collation Center in Bayelsa would resume counting of election results in Bayelsa State by 12. So that is it on the show today, guys, and I hope you have been informed, educated, and entertained as it is.
Yes, it's a new week here, and I want to say that I wish you all a wonderful week, and remain blessed this week.
Alright, so don't forget to join us same time, same station, edition of Lagos This Morning live on Flip TV. Don't forget to keep sharing and like and subscribe the page as it is.
Alright, it's still your girl Koforola Drew to me, okay?
And my name is Ebuka Izobika.
See you tomorrow. Bye for now.
100 naira eko. Let's go, boss eko.